What's going on, YouTube? This is Andrew with the Pistol Chronicles once again. Just wanted to give you guys a heads up on what am I running on my gun belt. Gun belts are becoming a new trend. Gun belts are kind of similar to the police Sam Brown version of how they carry the accessories on their belts. And it's kind of interesting because with the use of molly gear or molly webbing, it's very easy to get a bunch of accessories onto the belt. I use, let's see, looks like we got about 8 different accessories on here right now, and there's still room for a little bit more. So let's get into the beginning of it and see what the chassis is for all the accessories that are essentially on the belt. The main belt itself was purchased, this is this portion here, the portion that this is all riding on. It is a Fire Force tactical belt made in USA. Let's see if I can zoom in on this. And the belt probably cost me about 60 bucks. May have possibly been 70, not sure. But the point of the matter is that I bought it because it's a very well made belt. It's very thick in padding. I run with this belt. I run with everything on when I normally train, just for the simple fact of I want to make sure that my gear is not bouncing everywhere while I'm jostling up and down a fire and maneuver course, or while I'm engaging my targets. I want to make sure everything's secure, everything's tight, and everything's fitted well. So a good thing to do is make sure you weigh everything down the way you normally would, and make sure that you're running with everything that you would normally run on with your belt. So I'll just start from the right side of the belt and work my way back to the front left side of the belt. The first thing that I have here is my Maxpedition cell phone holder. This wasn't an impulse buy. I actually used this while I was out on patrol, and it was actually kind of nice because if you have an iPhone or a smartphone, all you really got to do is just turn it the opposite way and slide it in, and you're pretty much good. And what's really nice is that it also has this accessory, this clip accessory here, so you can clip it in, lock it in, cinch it down, and you're good to go. And what I also really liked about this cell phone holder itself was that it didn't cover the lens. So for whatever reason you really needed to flip on your camera and start recording whatever is going on, either for a self-defense application or for the entertainment value of doing a fire maneuver course, you have this lens available. I mean, I would obviously be running a GoPro while I'm doing the competition stuff, but if I had to actually use this out in a real life scenario, I could flip on my camera really quick and start recording. Unfortunately, that's where we are right now in the United States. Everything needs to be documented, and needs to be documented well. And I'm also a very big proponent of carrying for self-defense and making sure that I have everything recorded correctly so that I can explain myself for any use of forces that I may or may not have to do. So this is a great case to use. This is the Maxpedition smartphone case, and I believe it's the only one, and it did come in multiple colors. Unfortunately, FDE was not one of those when I purchased this, so therefore I just got the black. Whatever, I can deal with that. The next portion on my belt here is this Off the Grid Concepts Kydex holster. I purchased this more recently in order to fit my Glock 20C. The reason why I wanted to go with Kydex is because this thing is super light. This holster also has a dual feature portion for the actual holster itself. Now it'll hold my Glock 20, and if you see here, my Glock 20 also has the Surefire X400 laser light combo. Well, if I need to ditch this or put this on another different platform, the holster is not useless. Other Kydex holsters don't have a retention system if you take away the accessory. This one does. All you do is you insert the provided screw that goes into here and cinch it in down, and you now have a regular style holster for a pistol that doesn't have a laser light accessory on the rail. But it's really nice. All you do is you just slide it in, it locks in, does its thing, and it just fits on very nicely. And it's very light and doesn't add any extra weight to the belt, considering that it's a lightweight Kydex, and it just moves forward from there. It does kind of protrude out a bit when it's sitting on my hip, and if you look at it from a side view, it doesn't sit center like this. In fact, it actually tends to want to lean outboard, so it'll kind of dip. So it'll sit out like that, but I don't mind it too much. I guess I could always zip tie some avenue to give it some extra weight, but it does tend to sag a little bit to the right. Maybe it's just the weight of the pistol. But the other pouch that I have here is just a single magazine pouch. This came from the Condor accessories that came provided with the AR-500 body armor that I purchased, and also it's a universal mag pouch. I'm just running the Glock 10mm magazines out of this. It'll fit double stack, single stack mags. You can put 2 in here if they're single stacked, and it's a pretty good little accessory to have, especially if it's just empty space that you're not using on the webbing side of things. You can just add a couple extra on this side. This spot here is blank. This will be where I'm going to add my my IFAK or my emergency aid kit. There's a lot of kits that I'm looking around right now. Some offer different features that I'm looking for in particular. One of those being I'm looking for a tourniquet quick clot combo that would be very similar to what I used when I was overseas. So I want something that's going to be able to basically withhold a single gunshot wound to an abdomen or something larger. And obviously when I find it, I'm going to definitely throw down money on it and pick it up. So, yes, this is safety check, but for all of you that need to know for sure, it's definitely empty. Put this guy over here. Moving on down the side, we have our Condor dump pouch. Now, I'm not necessarily a big proponent of Condor accessories. These seem to just be the things that came with the AR-500 brand. I do run some different magazine pouches that I bought from Fire Force Tactical, and considering that it's free and I'm trying to keep this as cost effective as possible, I don't mind using the accessories initially. There's nothing wrong with them. They don't, definitely not falling apart in any way, shape, or form, and I've definitely ran a couple courses with them already without them falling apart. So the thing that I want to underline here is, yes, I do buy American gear. American gear is more expensive, but you also need to maximize your dollar, and if that means that you have to buy a little bit lesser brand in the meanwhile, while you can save up and buy something more effective or something more durable, albeit whether it's a different nylon or a heavier nylon, then so be it. Nobody's going to knock you for it. Nobody's going to ask you, hey, is that American made? I mean, we might ask in passing just to see if it's a stronger, well-built item, but it's not necessarily going to disqualify me from using it from my belt. I mean, I try to get as many American-made accessories as I can and try to stay as genuine as I can. That being said, these mag pouches are also Condor brand mag pouches, and like I said, I also use the American-made Fire Force Tactical pouches that I use on my chest. So these are just accessories. These are add-ons to what I already own through the American-made versions of whatever else, and they hold the standard 30-round mag. They fit quite nicely. They're not very snug in there where you can't pull them out in a quick application. You can still use add-on 4. I normally run with 10 magazines, so obviously that's going to be a heavy weight load when you're running with 10 magazines, considering each magazine weighs about maybe 3 to 5 pounds depending on how much grainage you're using. But I think they work great. And moving on forward with the dual magazine pouch, also from Condor, using standard 10mm Glock magazines. They work well. I'm a California native, so unfortunately I'm limited to 10 rounds only. But that being said, hopefully we'll change that soon, and maybe we'll be able to start carrying standard capacity like the rest of the United States does. So, but that's pretty much sums up what I have on my belt for now. I definitely encourage running a gun belt. It just gives you more real estate to use, to carry more gear with you, if you have the option. And sometimes I do. If this mag pouch is empty, I'll go ahead and I'll slap on a Leatherman multi-tool, or if I even have even more space, I'll gladly slap on a Benchmade knife that I normally carry also. But that's not normally something I would carry on my belt. But if I had a spare pouch or accessory pouch, I would definitely stick it in there. So that being said, guys, that's it. That's what I'm running on my gun belt. If you have any questions, shoot me an email or leave some comments. Go ahead and click subscribe. And thanks for your time.